Would you comment on your own video on your own Facebook feed?
I think we're going. I think there's so many. Yeah.
So you know what cringe is. This is episode 5, correct? Vlogging with Tempo. I'm Mark and Haley, and today we are going to talk about, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the art of upselling.
I thought we were talking about upgrades, but it's the same thing.
Well, it's the same thing.
It's a communication of the
upselling.
upgrade. Right. All right. So let's talk about, if you're talking about an upgrade, what kind of things are you looking out? How do you determine what's a situation where something's upgradable or upsellable?
So it depends. It depends on the situation, right? So if I'm in a house, it's going to be different than when you're in a house. So if I'm in a house, we're talking about system replacement. So an upgrade to a system, going from a single stage system to a variable speed system, you're upgrading the system, but upgrading on top of the system is what we're going to talk about. So that would be indoor air quality. So like we offer this air scrubber
there,
or duct cleaning, surge protection. Any of those can go on a system as upgrades. They also can go on a service call or inspections as upgrades that they can offer. So
when you're how do you determine, like from your client, like what are you looking for to identify what upgrades would suit them the best?
So you're gonna have to ask questions. Also take notice of some things. They're gonna be showing you their system. They're gonna be showing you around the house. If most houses in our area have a hot or cold area, they'll most likely take you to that room. If you notice, depending on the season, a lot of Kleenex are laying around, or I don't have allergies. What's the allergy medicine?
There's no way you don't have allergies. Everybody has allergies.
Not even.
It's to what level?
Okay, I have 0.
There's no way, man.
Okay, all right, I have 1.
So check it out. Level 1. Check it out. This is a long time ago. I was like, I have no allergies, right? And I'm cleaning a large unit. There's a heavy level of green pollen on there, right? This is a service tech, right?
Yep.
Power on the fan kicks on because it's aesthetics. It's not really functional, but you want the whole machine to look clean. So you're servicing everything, but you're also cleaning the stuff, so that it's just providing an extra level of service, and wiping it all off. And I didn't realize I hadn't turned the thermostat off. The thermostat kicks on. I have a whole pile of green like pollen. Like I don't know what tree it's coming from, but whatever. It's the whole thing. It's all condensed. Fan kicks on. I've got no allergies, and boom, like eyes swell up, everything. So like, to me, I feel like everyone has allergies. It's just to what level.
Okay,
but I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a level 1.
Sorry for your rarely at 3.
I don't know. I'm sure
You're probably level.
So
1.
If I am going into your home and you tell me that, I'm gonna ask some questions like, how often does that happen? How do you deal with it? Things like that. And based on your answer, I'm going to suggest probably our product that we sell, the air scrubber, as an upgrade to the system that we're replacing. In your sense, you would hopefully have the same reaction and offer that along with potentially, depending on their cleanliness of their ducts, you would offer duct cleaning. You could offer an upgraded filter that catches more of the pollen in the air.
Yep.
There's a number of things that you could do to a system to allow a homeowner to be a little more comfortable in their home. Well, once they step outside,
No.
that's a different ballgame. You can't control.
There was and the education piece it's like so important, right? And you can't ever take yourself and assume you know, like, then that's why I think when you're talking about
Mhm.
questions, it's so important.
Yep.
I was talking to a customer this week, and the house is being built all around. Her house is finished. The air quality is poor in her house, and she was asking for like a recommendation on what could go on. You know, what do you start to just try to relieve some of the allergies in the house? Do I need my ducts? And all these kinds of communication. But when I talked about filters, so well, I mean, what's good? What's it going to do for the air in my house? I'm not running my air conditioning right now.
Mhm.
But the whole, you know, there's a little bit of that education process. It's like, well, that's the best thing to start off with,
Mhm.
right? If you've got, and then you can go from there. And as you're looking at the different things, you can bundle things together and
Mhm.
start coming up with some upgrades.
Yep. Yep. And even though that you don't need your air conditioner, you can still set it to fan, and it can circulate the air. So
Would do you think that you could think of some benefits from offering upgrades, uh, or what are the immediate benefits of offering upgrades?
and give me context. What
Let's say if you went someplace and you satisfied just the immediate need, and that was the only option you presented. What's the downside of not talking? So we reverse
Oh,
it, and
I see. I see.
turn it backwards.
Yep.
What happens if you don't offer upgrades? What's the consequences?
If
It's a better way to say it.
I'm gonna give you an example instead of telling you the consequence. So, 2 months ago, at the most, we had a customer call in. They had a question, uh, why we've never talked to them about duct cleaning service, right? Um, I can't answer that, but we've been offering duct cleaning service for a long time, and they called in asking if we did, luckily, and we ended up cleaning their ducts because they were having a lot of allergy issues, and we have they were getting quotes from the others, everybody else that does duct cleaning, and the problem with these others, that if they're not a licensed HVAC company, they will only go so far in
Yeah.
the ducts, because they can't, if they break the unit by cleaning it too much, too far in, well, then they have to pay us to come out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fix it. So they luckily she did call us, but if you don't offer it or talk about it at least, or even hand over a brochure, something, they don't know that we do it, and we potentially lose that service to someone else, um, and put in the end, if they call another HVAC company to go do that, what is to say that they just wouldn't start using their service?
Are you asking me?
Yes,
They probably would.
I know.
And I also know that the conversation, and it's not every single time. Most people just move on down the road. You don't even know that you've lost
Mhm.
that client,
Mhm.
but because it's a trust thing. I really do think it's a trust thing.
Yeah.
If you're holding back on and making up my mind for me, um, you know, I don't think you're establishing a great level of trust with me. But either way, you get the conversation
Mhm.
that always starts off with, well, nobody ever told me about this. And if there's nothing immediate about saying, hey, here are all the things that could take care of everything that we talked about. We've got the basic, we've got maybe some of this stuff. We've got everything that can take care of everything off to the side. If you want to do that, we're prepared to do all that work. And then let the customer decide. But it comes across when you don't assess the situation and provide everything that could be there, that you've kind of made up your mind for the customer,
Yep.
what's best for them without involving them in the decision. And whether maybe that's an underlying feeling they've got, but it's going to the words coming from that phone call are going to start with, why did nobody ever say, you know,
Yeah.
this before,
Yeah.
if we've been out there before. um but if we've never been out there before, we've done our job and provided excellent service. uh and this is the reason why I really think everybody should offer up, regardless of what company you work for, offer up um, everything that can suit the needs of what conversation you've had. And it's going to vary from situation to situation. But if you've done a great job asking all great questions about how they're using their air conditioner, and you've created an option that covers everything, let them pick if they want it. That's great. At least you've done some education. It's all benefit, and there's almost no negative, because it's still their choice. They can decide to just, hey, let's get around to that later, for whatever reason.
Yep.
But at least I know about that stuff.
Yep. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you, as a technician going into a home, how did you bring the conversation up? Do you wait till the very end?
Oh no,
after a list, or
well, there can be. All right, so I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna try to find out everything I can. It's almost like you're walking into the doctor's office and they're asking you questions about your symptoms, right? Then I'm gonna take my measurements, right, and I do the technical side of things. I'm gonna determine, what the immediate need is, and try to address everything that we can from the conversation we've had. For example, this is if we're dealing with a home that has challenging power issues, a lot of in our market, the voltage runs pretty high, and in some areas you have power dropping in and out, right? So if I were coming to someone's house and that was important to them, they're like, I've just power cuts in and out that may have something to do with what's going on today. Okay, well, let me go take a look at everything. It's an electrical component, or if maybe it's something that's not related, but we've identified this is a house that has power problems. We have a volt armor pack where and it was designed because what happens when the power goes off, when it comes back on, usually the voltage is a little low. So what we want to do is protect it if the voltage goes too high and if the voltage goes too low. So we bundled up two electronic devices that can take care of that. That would be one thing that I'd present, right? And then whatever electrical problems they have to try to avoid a problem down the road, or whatever they've got right now, protect it to the best of my ability. There's different conversations if we're talking about indoor air quality, because on a service call, that's just as important as when you're replacing your system.
Yeah.
It's a great time when you're replacing your system, though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
the fun fact question: how many lightning strikes do you think there are per year in Texas?
oh, there's like 50 billion, I think.
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure.
50 billion in Texas?
Yeah, easy.
That might be a little high.
It would spot. It's a poor guy. It's a poor guy, man. Can't know it was us.
Yeah,
Never. That's true. No, I don't know. I think it's about 10,000 or something.
It's millions.
Millions.
Yeah, in Texas.
Yeah.
So, and it seemed like to me, because we got so many calls last year, that it was higher. I don't know why. But it would be interesting to start tracking how many calls we get because there's a lightning storm and there's a power surge, and now their equipment doesn't work. You may.
It would be interesting.
You may.
It'd be challenging. It'd be challenging. It'd be challenging, right? It's challenging because what happens is you have the storm come through. You're not using your air conditioner. It's 3 days later because now it's a little hotter. When it's hot, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Right. It's like it was 105 degrees. It stormed today. The next day, everybody knows. But when it's mild, like springtime, sometimes early springtime, it may be a few days before you turn it back on.
Yep. And downside is the manufacturer, when they're doing a warranty check, that is not covered, and they will check.
Yeah, it's what they would go for is manufacturer defect, right? So and something external isn't, but it's still just a good idea, even if you're not under manufacturer warranty. If you're worried about your air conditioner, to do something to protect it like that. That's a really great upgrade for that kind of situation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But again, it all is driven by getting in the home, establishing a relationship with the customer, and if you don't get any information from them, how are you going to prescribe something?
Yep, exactly.
That's all we have for today. We'll pick this back up next week. It's a really interesting conversation.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's been real fun.
Don't forget to like, comment, share. And again, as always, if you've got questions about anything we talked to, leave it in the comments. If you know someone who's interested in getting into the industry or want to know more about the industry, also comment too.
Leave us 5 stars.
5-star review.
There you go. Don't forget that.
Fantastic.
All right.
This is where they roll the music.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have music now?
I'm pretty sure we got music.